Alright everyone, welcome back to the No Blackpill Zone. We have to talk about the current election and why I see like shades of 2016 in a big way. In 2016, and some of you are too young to remember this actually, if you're one of the younger users on the channel, you may have been a kid at the time. At this point, it's ancient history. In the 2016 election, you had a lot of astroturfing and a lot of censorship and a lot of bullshit that was going on in polling. You have the same thing exactly now. You also have the faux enthusiasm of the uniparty candidate. For example, Hillary Clinton, who lost. There was an awful lot of enthusiasm artificially generated by the legacy media and on big tech in order to try to make her look more popular than she was. We're seeing that on steroids in the 24 election. We're seeing the exact same thing. You have an unlikable candidate who is obsessed with id poll. You have the same censorship campaigns. It really looks a lot more like 2016 than 2020. In 2020, there was plausible deniability for the absence of the Democratic candidate. Biden could say, well, you know, I'm an older dude and I don't want to get sick, so, you know, social distancing and stuff. The fact that only 30 people showed up for my event, which makes absolutely no political sense whatsoever, strategically speaking, is excusable because of distancing rules and things like that. You're seeing the same thing now. In fact, they're still trying to trot out the Voldemort disease as a foil this election season, too. Well, the Voldemort disease season is here. Everyone, quick, stop being in contact with one another. It's not really working, though. There's a difference. You've got a candidate who is clearly psychopathic, who was chosen as a DEI candidate, generally speaking. It's shades of 2016. There's a lot of astroturfing going on right now. A lot of it is paid for directly by the Harris campaign because they are flush with money. That money will eventually exhaust itself. The whole point is to try to take both the Biden and Harris hauls, astroturf enthusiasm, pay off influencers to, you know, pretend that the Kamala Harris is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Tim Walz's brother appears to disagree with this. So do other individuals who have worked with both Harris and Walz. I wonder why that would be the case. When you get plates thrown at your head when you do something wrong, you might not exactly like your employer. I suspect still that Donald Trump has a systemic advantage. And that's the other point. Hillary Clinton was 4.5 points ahead in the aggregated polling on Election Day. Harris is nowhere near that. And again, the polls are being fudged with. They're being weighted in favor of Democratic voters because of perceived turnout based on the 2020 and 2016 elections. But that doesn't necessitate reality. 1.5 as a lead is not particularly incredible. It's very, very weak for a candidate who's probably being oversampled for by several points. Harris could end up losing the popular vote at this point, if nothing else changes. But the only thing that I expect to change is that Harris will hide. She will come out into public as little as possible because her staffers and she knows that she fucks up every time she speaks, if it's unscripted. Not like the CNN interview, which was so chopped and screwed, again, it was like Viper's crack cocaine. But genuinely unscripted, she either freezes up or she cackles. Both of those are rather off-putting to people, but she will occasionally have to face questions from the press. There'll be softballs, but apparently she can't even deal with those. Again, even in a heavily edited interview, it was a freak show. It didn't help her, by the way. I think that hurts her campaign. Presumptively, we're going to have a presidential debate in the middle of September. It's still up in the air as to whether that's going to happen. We're not 100% sure. Here's the problem. My analysis has to be a little bit more sparse right now, because we're not even sure there will be a presidential debate. If there is one, Kamala gets toasted. If she skips the debate, she gets toasted and roasted anyway. And so it's a lose-lose situation. This is one of the things that I'm banking on with regards to the presidential election. I think that Kamala Harris falls precipitously in the polls once she either decides I'm not going to debate and looks like a coward, or debates Trump and inevitably loses. There's no way that she's going to prevail. How can she possibly prevail against Trump? She's far worse at public speaking. She refuses to even flesh out issues during a captive interview with a sympathetic journo who is asking nothing but softballs. If she's asked any hard-hitting questions, she's going to start laughing her ass off or something like that. And it'll be for the entire public to see. And by the way, I will definitely be live reacting to that. It's basically shades of 2016. It doesn't feel like 2020. It feels more like 2016. Between the astroturfing, the poll fudging, the lackluster lead that Harris even supposedly has, it looks a lot more like 2016. In fact, the odds are better for Trump now than they were in 2016. I can remember election night, and I was watching it live, and live reacting to it for like 4 fucking hours, and it was a fun time, let me tell you. I got a little bit hammered that night. I remember looking at the New York Times page, and they had that little meter that showed like the odds of either candidate winning. And it started off at the beginning of the night with a 99% chance for Hillary Clinton to become the next president of the United States. And slowly, over the course of the night, over the course of several painful hours, it moved in the other direction until it was a 99% chance of Trump winning, and of course he did. Don't get blackpilled. We've seen this before. We literally saw this exact same scenario in 2016. There's a heavy amount of overlap, an extreme amount. Basically, the only thing that the Democrats have right now is a Hail Mary prayer and ballot printers. But they've been defortified in several states. Well, in Pennsylvania and in Georgia, for example. Well, I mean, there's the election, basically. If you count the states that are actually in play, you're getting perilously close to 270 right there. I think that takes Trump to like 260 or something like that. He only needs one additional state, potentially. Well, I mean, there aren't enough ballot printers to go burr. If everyone goes out and registers one person to vote, or harvests one ballot, or knocks on one door, or drags one reluctant friend to the fucking polls in November, Trump can't help but win. That's the long and short of it. All you need is the ground game. It takes very little individual effort at all. It takes only the most minuscule of effort. Hey, you've got an extra weekend. You took an extra day off. You've got a long weekend. Go out through your neighborhood and knock on doors. That's all you have to do. Especially if you're in a competitive state, that's even more important. Trump could technically win New York, for example. He won't. But if enough people got active, and I don't expect enough people to do so, in theory, on paper, he could potentially win the state of New York. And that would, by the way, be the election. There's no path forward to victory for Kamala at that point. But in the competitive states, especially, if you're in Pennsylvania, you're in Georgia, you're in Arizona, any of these states, New Hampshire, definitely get out the vote. Because the Democrats have a more beefy ground game every single election season. That's self-professed. They have a more beefy ground game because they believe in more centrality in government, and so they're more well-organized. The Republican side, especially with MAGA populism, is more disorganized. So they're better at memeing and branding and messaging and speaking and things like that. But you still have to have the ground game. You still have to get that message, which is superior, out to the actual voters. That would be my particular opinion on the matter. We'll wait and see what happens. We've still got to wait and see whether we even have a presidential debate. Kamala might skip out. Last minute they're trying to change the debate rules to have open mics and shit like that, and the Trump campaign said no, and ABC News also said no, so they probably have lost on that particular token. That's about all. Peace out.